Yo, what up guys, it's Juan. So today let's check out the GoPro Hero 10 Black. So the GoPro Hero 10 Black is the latest edition of the GoPro line of cameras. The GoPro cameras, if you're not familiar with them, which you probably should be by this point, they have been here for a decade, but they are the mainstream top of the line action cameras. Now you cannot go wrong with the GoPro line of cameras simply because they tend to have the most cutting edge features in them. So this year is going to be no exception to that. Now they have been doing the GoPros without the diving suit for a few years now. These can go up to 33 feet without a dedicated suit. If you do apply that suit, they go down even further. I believe it's up to like 150 feet plus. So if you are someone that's going to be doing some legitimate scuba diving, that is going to be the way to go. But for your overall needs and general usage, this is going to be an excellent camera without the dedicated suit. Like the Hero 9 Black, the Hero 10 Black has a front-facing screen, and that is actually going to be really important. It lets you basically see what the camera is seeing, so that will help you with framing and just give you a general sense of knowing what you're actually shooting. So for those of you that use different extension arms and such, this is going to be perfect for that. Now this year specifically, the GoPro Hero 10 gets a bump in processing power. So they're using the new processor from GoPro. I believe it's called the GP2 processor, so that is going to be an excellent bump in terms of performance. Now what that will do is that it will reduce the latency and general lag time on the rear screen. And I know a lot of you have probably noticed that over the years that the screens tend not to be the most responsive, specifically speaking when you compare them to a smartphone. But that bump in processing power will definitely help alleviate some of those issues. Along with the bump in processing power, the Hero 10 Black also gives you a bump in terms of resolution. So this year you do get 5.3K as your max resolution. Along with that, the 5.3K also has the ability to shoot up to 60 frames per second. So you're getting a max of 5.3K at up to 60 frames per second, and you're also getting a bump in terms of the 4K. So the 4K gets a bump from a max of 60, which was the previous model, to 120 FPS. So that's going to be phenomenal. I am not one to personally take pictures on the GoPro, but it is always nice to have that option. This year you do get 23 megapixels of total megapixel count for the Hero 10, so that's going to be nice for those of you that actually do utilize the photo feature on the GoPro cameras. With that photo feature, again, you do also get the staple by this point, if you've been following the cameras over the few years, of hyperlapse, night lapse, and just general time lapse. So those again make their way onto the Hero 10 Black as well. The Hero 10 Black is going to be ever so slightly bigger than the Hero 9 Black. So if that is of concern to you, keep that in mind. Overall though, it's still definitely a compact camera and one to definitely consider. The Hero 10 Black does have those two flaps at the bottom of the camera that have small magnets that basically just flap up and basically clip onto the camera when not in use. And if you are using the GoPro tripod or any other extension arm that might require it to be clipped onto a mount, the flaps simply come down and you can basically just screw the camera into a mount at that point. Overall, the camera is going to be excellent. I just recently got back about 6 weeks ago. That's not very recent, but it's recent enough to me. Got back from a vacation. I just turned 30. Yes, I know I'm old, but took the camera and we went down to the US Virgin Islands, went to St. Thomas and St. John, so we actually had the camera in use down there. Here's a few shots of the camera basically in use. So all of these were shot specifically with the camera with minimal editing and color correction done to them. So overall, I did find that the camera does a fairly good job at shooting in bright conditions. Now it was incredibly bright, so I think overall it did a good job in terms of that. If you're concerned about battery life, I was able to make it through a full day of sporadic shooting on my vacation without really running into any roadblocks in terms of charging. Now I do have a second battery. I have the Enduro battery. That one's geared more for cold weather, so I didn't necessarily need that, but it was just a second backup battery to have in case I did run out of my primary battery in the camera, but again, throughout the entire day of specifically shooting with the GoPro, I didn't really run into any issues with battery life. The GoPro Hero line of cameras have never necessarily been excellent in terms of their night videography, but overall, if you are in a pinch, they will get the job done. Just take into account that the video will look a bit noisy. The night lapse feature is another one that I did have the opportunity to use, and overall, given the lighting conditions, I think it did fairly well also. And of course, the GoPro Hero 10 Black improves on that award-winning stabilization that has been a staple of the camera for the past few years. This year they improve on that even further, and they somehow made the stabilization on the camera even better. That digital stabilization that they're doing does crop in some, but again, it is phenomenal and a absolute standout feature. Overall, the camera does come with a pretty decent amount of features. It comes with voice controls as well. If you do want to operate and use your GoPro with simply telling it what to do, that is going to be a pretty cool feature. And obviously, as with all GoPros, you can modify the frame rate to go higher up past 120, go up to the 240 range. You'll simply have to pull the 4K down to 1080, but again, that is a nice feature to have the option to shoot at 240 frames, and you get a significant amount of other features that you can customize with the GoPro. The GoPro also does come with the GoPro Quick app. The Quick app that you can download at the App Store or the Play Store is a pretty cool video editing app that's dedicated specifically for the GoPro cameras. You can basically transfer your information or videos from the camera onto the app, edit your videos and such on that, and it also acts as cloud storage for your content, so that's going to be pretty cool. The only caveat is that it does require a subscription, but overall I think it's something that's pretty nice to have if you are looking for that. The Hero 10 Black, like the predecessor, the Hero 9 Black, both of these are basically trending a bit more towards the vloggers and travelers out there. They have been dropping a lot of accessories that are more geared towards using this camera as your travel camera. You can basically mod these things out with the mod kit. You can attach an external mic, an external screen, and an external light. You can also pick up the rechargeable battery bank handle hybrid that acts as like a tripod as well, and also attach it, so you can get pretty creative with this camera and all the additional accessories. Overall, the GoPro Hero line of cameras are effectively the gold standard in terms of action cameras. They're great for travel, great for vlogging and such, so I know DJI and a few other companies are trying to compete with GoPro, but for the money and for the features, I think GoPro is still the king. Overall, I'm going to give the GoPro Hero 10 Black an A+. If you are someone that has needs for a camera that is waterproof, for action sports, for travel, for vlogging, anything like that, this is absolutely going to be one to consider given its compact size and array of features. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not. Comment down below as well with any questions or comments that you might have on the GoPro Hero 10 Black or other products that you might want to see in the future. Aside from that, it's Juan, and I'll catch you guys next time.